A sobering realization is that this nation does not consider the descendants of enslaved Africans to be Americans. They don't consider us to be worth fighting for. That is why in every civil rights movement and protest movement that we have spearheaded, we have stood alone. White people are now going to have to tame the lions that they have set loose. The onus has always been on them to dismantle the social construct of whiteness and white supremacy.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right. So guys, in today's episode, we are going to be listening to Black American content creators who will be talking to their own community and reminding them the need to have a long memory because of what has been happening in history and is still happening right now. Right. So let's watch these videos that we've prepared for you and then we come back and talk about it. But please consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you after the videos. Let's watch.
Black people, I'm going to say something that we're not used to hearing. I am so proud of us because we have not fallen for the enemy's trap. You see, white folk and the nutcases that are running the federal government, they thought that what would happen after November 5th would be that we as a community would be out in the street protesting. Latino people thought that we were going to join with them and protest mass deportations. White women thought that black women were going to join them in mass and do the work for them and protest Agent Orange. And they are shocked and perplexed. But see, we have always been wise. They have always underestimated us, and it fills my heart with joy to know collectively. I'm not talking about the ones that Harriet would have left behind. There are always going to be a portion of us that are just in a sunken place. Oh well, nothing we can do about that. But collectively, we have stuck to our stance. We are preparing, but we are resting and standing back. And let me tell you why that is genius on our part as a community. A sobering realization is that this nation does not consider the descendants of enslaved Africans to be Americans. They don't consider us to be worth fighting for.
Black people, you know I love you, but some of y'all got a short memory. And so I'm here to remind you that black people will not be marching in this era. If you recall, black-led marches looked like this, and like this, and like this. Black-led marches were the most violent and have been the most violent forms of protest in America. White-led marches, the ones that are going on right now, look like this, and like this, and like this. The difference is you don't see any vitriol and violence from police, and you don't see any vitriol and violence from white extremist groups. And I can say this with certainty because I live in Chicago and I was out there too. They beat people. They chased people down, drug them through the street. They threw those smoke charges into the crowd. They had gas masks on. They sent people into our marches to throw bricks and cause riots and then blame it on us. Marching is over. Marching is literally the dumbest thing that we could do with our time right now. Instead, you need to be doing what I'm doing, and that's organizing the masses of black people so that we can work together to protect ourselves from this hate and vitriol that this country has decided they will never stop. Organizing the masses of black people, getting back in community with each other behind closed doors, coming up with solutions to rebuild our communities and protect our communities from this hate and vitriol. We We do not need to be out in the streets wasting our time and energy so that they can put targets on our back, front, and forehead. And now they have a president that is 100% willing to let them go free after doing so. If you never listen to a word I say, black people, please do not fall for the bait. Do not go out there marching in these streets. Instead, get organized in your community. I hope y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. We got a lot of work to do, and none of it is going to go on in the street. I will not be a target for some pathetic little loser with a rifle. Instead, I'm going to spend my time and energy organizing the masses of black people. What are you going to do? Are you with me? Do you understand the assignment? I love you, black man. I love you, black woman. Knowledge is power. Power to the people.
That is why in every civil rights movement and protest movement that we have spearheaded, we have stood alone. And I know you're going to hear people say, well, I marched with black people during Black Lives Matter. The only reason why people who were not us marched with us during the summer of 2020 during Black Lives Matter is because they were going stir crazy sitting in the house under pandemic lockdown, that they eventually did go out and protest. They needed something to do because by the winter of 2020, all of that went away. It was performative at best. We stand alone, and the silver lining to this past election is that became crystal clear that as a community, we have no allies. We stand alone, but that's good because we have realized, you know what? We're no longer going to put our bodies and our lives on the line for people who truly believe that we are inferior and not worthy of the same rights in this country that they enjoy. That's why they felt emboldened when we didn't respond like they wanted us to come into the comment sections of our videos talking about how come black people aren't protesting? You all are being divisive. We need to stand together. I'm looking at you, Arab Americans, who called Kamala Harris a bitch and all other names, and the one dude that said that he would rather vote for Satan than to vote for Kamala Harris. You got your wish. Now here's the thing. White folk and Arab Americans and Latino community and everybody else who is not us, they're going to have to set it off. Because here's the other reason why I am so proud of us. We realize that if we had gone out there and had protested and marched with Latinos against mass deportations, the violence would have been next level. And these other communities know that. See, they want to use us as the cannon fodder. But if you notice, we didn't do that. And did you see the difference in the response of law enforcement to those protests? Yeah, a few Latinos got arrested, but it wasn't nearly the violence that Black Lives Matter protests had. Not nearly. And see, we know what their game plan is. We are foiling the government's plans. It's easy to declare martial law when black folk come out because, again, we're not considered Americans. So they're waiting for us to throw that first stone so that they can come out with their militarized gear, with their militarized responses and weapons, the rubber bullets, the tear gas, and hurt and incarcerate and unalive many of us. And then the government would have an excuse to declare martial law. But see, they have been unable to do that. This time, black folk, white people, and everybody else, the Latino community and the Arab American community, they are going to have to stand on the front line. And they are going to have to throw that first stone. They are going to have to set it off as we sit back. They didn't anticipate that. They thought that we were just talking after the election, that we didn't mean what we said when we told them that we finally fully recognize that we have no allies and that our advocacy is being taken for granted. Not anymore. We won't have our blood run through the streets. Not anymore. Not this time. Black folks, again, I am proud of you. Black women, you truly are special. Thank you so much for leading the charge. This black man respects you a great deal. Black folks, we are doing the damn thing this time. White people are now going to have to tame the lions that they have set loose. The onus has always been on them to dismantle the social construct of whiteness and white supremacy. So it's on them now. You all be careful out here.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the episode we just played, yeah? I feel like this generation is gonna go down in history because I feel like America is dealing with a different kind of generation altogether. You know, the way they're handling things, it was very, very unexpected, especially Black America, yeah? It was very, very unexpected. But I think also we can accord this to the changing times. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely a different generation.
Right, and forgive me for saying this, but I do feel like I observe Black Americans know how to move right now. They know how and when to move, you know. So long as and as much as their leaders and other groups of people have tried to get them or irritate them into taking actions, they themselves have chosen to think rationally and take necessary steps only if and when it's necessary.
Yeah, although it's not to say that the ones previous to this didn't know how to act. What we are saying is, I feel like
times are changing and people are also changing.
Yeah, because even when they marched during that time, that march was needed for change to be affected, you know.
Yeah, that march was very necessary because that was the only way the then government would hear the Black communities, please.
And then there's also another thing the brother said about America, Black Americans not being considered as Americans in the US, you know. And I couldn't help but remember Dr. Umar's words, and I don't know if some of you have watched that video where he was talking about the reason why America hates Black Americans so much is because unlike other groups of melanated people, Jamaicans, Caribbeans in general, Africans and other people who are melanated,
and also Latinas, everybody,
immigrants, they can always be deported back to their countries. But when it comes to Black Americans, they are there to stay. They cannot be deported.
Can't deport them anywhere.
And Dr. Umar said that is the main reason why Black Americans are hated in America, and America goes to such an extent where they put hurdles in their lives so as to frustrate their lives, you know. And I feel like every day it kind of makes sense a lot, because you ask yourself, why is a certain type of why is a certain group of people targeted? Because even the march, there was a sister who was talking, and you look at how she was demonstrating the type of marches Black Americans participating in, the type of marches white America or other groups participating, and how they're given so much peace when they're doing their activities during their marches. But when it comes to Black America, they always have to create some sort of chaos to make the Black community look bad or to hinder them fighting for what they're fighting for, you know.
Right, and this is why I feel like April 5th will be a very important day, not only to the palm-colored people who are going to protest, but to Black people in general, because with them taking a step back, we will firsthand get to see how the police will handle the palm-colored people who are protesting, because I do believe that palm-colored people are usually shown more grace than Black people in events like this. So we just want to see, will they be given the same treatment as Black people, or will we see that white privilege come out? That is point number one. And then again, the second thing, we are really eager to see if should everything go silent sideways. Are palm-colored people willing to stand for each other? Because black people usually stand for each other and they try to not break the front line, you know. So are palm-colored people going to stand for each other, or when one gets caught, the rest will run? You know, something like that. So I feel like other groups of people will be observing this match very, very well, especially behavioral-wise, to see how both parties, the police and the protesters, how they're gonna be acting with each other.
Right. And then also, guys, let me just remind you the Schmazi attack that happened in Cincinnati. Yeah? These people went with bad intentions.
They were carrying pew-pews and all of that.
They went into our community with bad intentions, and the authorities didn't see anything illegal with that. But if
It
that
even
was,
looked like they were protecting those
people. But if that was a black crowd, can you imagine how it would have gone down, you know? So now, because we saw a clip where the black community had created a group to counteract the one that had been formed to protect their own community,
the neighborhood.
Yeah, so we are waiting to see, are they gonna be labeled a different type of name compared to those schmazis who formed that group in order to go and do nefarious things in that neighborhood? Are they going to be labeled differently? Because these other ones were called, they were said to not be criminals, and they didn't see anything wrong in the actions they were partaking in, you know.
And that's why most of them were not arrested, all of them.
So guys, I don't know what you think about this episode. Let us know what you think about it on the comment section. But one thing I'm loving is right now, what you can say 100% is that communication is very, very effective, and much as sometimes people know things, it's good to be reminded. And I love that creators right now, especially black creators, have a platform
to their own people.
Yeah, they can talk to their own people directly. You don't have to be a politician for you to have a platform or and go lie to people.
Yeah, or use money to go to different neighborhoods and bring that awareness. You just simply log on to your social media platform, and black Americans will find the message.
Right. So at least I'm happy about that, guys. Let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section. These 4 years, black Americans are saying we are minding our own business and we are not going to be involved in anybody's fight. Yeah,
right. And they're also recognizing, much as they're minding their own business, they're also staying aware, because they know measures are being made to target them after all said and done.
Yeah.
So let's just wait and see where all this is going. And also April 5th will be a big day for everyone. Let's just wait and see what happens.
100%. Let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section. As usual, Lona, thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you on the next episode.